You are watching the bold and the disciplined. A fresh and fun approach on marketing insights.
There's a lot of talk today about word of mouth, social media, and all the technologies that surround them. But have you ever wondered why consumers talk?
It turns out that understanding why consumers choose to communicate is rooted in the cognitive psychological sciences. Did you know that the brain is designed not to think?
Did that line disrupt your thought process? It happens to be true. Our brains are designed to try to remain in a static state, to reserve the processing power for true emergencies or survival.
Conserving energy. Now that's a foreign term to Rod. Also, a mechanism the brain uses to remain in this static state is the use of schemas.
Schemas? Yeah, you're just making the word up.
Not at all, my little grasshopper. Pay attention. Schemas are mental models that we use to understand how the world works. They enable us to assume things and use the model to fill in the missing details. So when you got in your car this morning, you had a schema that you would drive on the right-hand side of the road, and the person coming at you would end up driving on his or her right-hand side. You don't think about it. Your brain simply makes the assumption that this is how the world works.
So how does this apply to marketing, you may ask? Word of mouth on brands uses the same cognitive principles. Consumers talk about brands when we disrupt a schema. They talk when we give them a piece of surprise that does not fit inside their mental model.
This happens because the brain cannot live in a state of disequilibrium. So one way it gets back to its static state is by talking about the disruption. Significant disruption causes sustained talk. Disrupting a schema turns out to be at the core of all word of mouth.
Jared, I think we're getting some skeptical looks. Let me give you a real-life example. You remember the miracle on the Hudson? Our schema is that planes crash on water and then people die. We all had to and still do talk about it because everyone survived. Our schemas were significantly disrupted.
Now, effective word of mouth has to go beyond just disrupting a schema, or you may end up creating a lot of buzz with people not remembering your brand.
This is the difference between buzz marketing and advocacy creation. In buzz marketing, the disruption is superficial and often not tied directly to the product. In cognitive terms, it is interrupting a schema, just not one that is associated with the brand or category.
Effective word of mouth disrupts schemas that are tied to the core of your category and brand. We call this the foundational truth.
Yes, the foundational truth is perhaps the most important factor, but the topic of our next video.
See you next time. You don't want to miss it.